Mase has decided to defend himself. He went on the $1 million worth of game show and he let it all hang out. He said, your boy Fivio foreign ain't being 100, and I'm here to tell you. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again with another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. CLBMG all day, every day. All right, so I watched it, right? And currently I have not finished it. But what I needed to hear, I heard. The most important information was in the beginning, the first 25 minutes, where Mase addressed the Fivio foreign accusations that he only gave him $5,000 to sign with him, which set the internet on fire. They called him Diddy Part 2, and they called him Diddy 2.0, whatever the case may be. Apparently he adopted that title, right? But they were saying, you're screaming on Diddy and you're just as bad. You only gave Fivio foreign $5,000 as a signing bonus. And what's up with that? Fivio foreign has said he's been absent from all of the decision making, and he's been absent from pretty much him blowing up. He's basically saying, I did it myself, right? So let me talk about this. I want to talk about this, what I know as far as with this whole situation with Mase, right? I feel like as you start to listen to Mase, it's exactly what we thought it was. The people who know the business a little more, the people who've been around and are a little more smarter than the person whose first instincts to see, yo, Mase signed up for 5 G's. Yo, that's it. Yo, that's crazy. Mase a snake. Yo, that's a person who doesn't understand the business. So let me talk about this right now. Apparently, Mase signed him to a production deal. A production deal is when you put a person on to just produce them and help them get the deal. You're not signing them like you're under my label, da-da-da. What Mase apparently did, and it's really, really, you got to understand what this man did. This guy would have been 20 years trying to do the stuff Mase did for him in a month. Right? Mase told the story of Fivio foreign going to, he was trying to get on the label. He's trying to get him on the label. And when the first thing happened was they were like, you're too old. First of all, that's the first thing the label's going to say. When a guy is his age, they're going to be like, you're too old. So on his own, he would have never got this deal. Fivio foreign himself said he was broke and didn't have no money because that's why he took the $5,000. But the $5,000 is just to secure you in a contract. It's not I'm signing you, I'm gonna do all your music, I'm gonna put you in the studio, and that's not that. The production deal is to, yes, help you get your music produced so you can get a deal for more money, and then you can go into that label, into a bigger situation. I'm not the label signing you. A production deal is we're gonna produce something, and then we're gonna take it to a label and get them to give us a big bag, and then you can take whatever you want from that. I'm gonna take what I want, and then it's like a finder's fee. Then you go and work with them. You still signing to me under the rules that we stipulate, and I still get paid on the back end of that. But at the end of the day, I'm not they your label. That's your label. So I believe he took him to Columbia, took him to Def Jam and all these different whatever. And he had a fan. He had some connections in there. He said that one of the connections was a guy. I think he said his name was Tubi. I think he said his name was Tubi. And long story short, he called up Tubi, set the deal up for Fivio foreign. This is from Mase. I don't know none of these people. He called him, set the deal up. He said, what do we need to make this deal happen? Because we want him. Labels was wanting this guy. After Mase got him where he wanted to get him, you know what I'm saying? He said he put him on South by Southwest, and Fivio didn't even show up to the show. He was on the show with 22 G's. He didn't show up. He don't know why, but he still stuck with him. Then they had a whole issue of the $5,000. He said, well, why are you giving $5,000? He's like, well, I gave the man that was managing him, gave him $15,000 for them to spread it amongst them. The man ran off with it. I thought they was trying to play me. So the next thing was another $5,000, and that's what he got, right? So end of the day, the $5,000 was to secure him in a binding contract before Mase did any work for him. So what happens is you go do all this work for these people, and then as soon as they get on, they want to leave you, right? You do a handshake deal. Handshake don't mean nothing in court. You see what happened to Megan Thee Stallion? She tried to get out of the deal that was It was great for her until somebody along came with more money, and now it's like, I might leave these people. But that's what people do. That's why he signed them. He gave him the $5,000, which he said he gave more because there was more people involved. They ran off with that, so he got the 5. But he said, I gave him the 5, which people probably still don't understand. Like, why you give him 5? The 5 was to keep him from being able to make any negotiations without him. It's not to sign you. It's not to sign you as a record deal. This is not me giving you a record deal. We're gonna produce a track or two, a couple tracks. I'm gonna get you buzzing, and then we're gonna walk in the label and get a real big bag. So apparently he called up the Tubi guy, said, how can we get Fivio in that situation? The guy was apparently he was either the A&R, I believe he said, it was running the music department or whatever for, I believe it was Columbia. I think Def Jam said this guy was too old. So I think he went to Columbia, even though Def Jam is under Columbia. And Paul Rosenberg and all these other stuff got involved in whatever. End of the day, he said that this guy said he wanted $1.5 million. So that's why Mase kept saying he got $750,000 and I got $800,000 because he owed me $50,000, something like that, right? Oh no, he got $700,000, I got $800,000, something like that, because he owed me $50,000 for doing stuff for him. So he gave him 5, according to Mase, and then he spent $50,000 on him while this guy was getting his life together and getting him, grooming him to be where he needed to be. Then he personally walked him up into the situation at the label and got him the deal for 1.5. He took 50-50, right? He said, I gave him back 30% of his merchandise. He said, I could have had 30% of his music for life. He said, for life. I gave him that back, which was very noble because he signed for that. He signed the deal, said, I get 30% the rest of my life. He said, I gave him 30% back of that, and he gave him something else. I think he gave him his points. He said he gave him all his points back, which is unheard. They don't do that in the record business. He did say he wouldn't speak on his masters, so I think he owns his masters, right? Now, the only problem with that is he only owned the masters that he already made. He don't own no new masters going forward, right? Apparently, unless he got the deal where everything he make from now on, he owned masters up, but I doubt that. So, end of the day, he would not commit to saying he don't own his masters, so he must own his masters. He's like, that's a conversation for a different day. So he must own his masters, right? Which, at the end of the day, is smart because he gave him back the 30% and he gave him back his points. He didn't have to give him anything back. Matter of fact, if he learned from the Diddy school, he wouldn't have gave him nothing. Right? So at the end of the day, this guy Mase actually is being a G with this situation, if you believe what Mase is saying. He really did some G stuff with this kid. For this kid to say Mase wasn't there and he wasn't a part of it, it's kind of low-key crazy. Then he had a recording of Fivio saying, Mase is my team, the other team ain't my team. So Mase had a lot of receipts on this show. So I'm sitting there looking like, yo, Mase really... It's not a lot of artists that came out in the 90s that can walk in a label right now and sit you down and get you $1.5 million. Ain't too many artists that I can think of, right? I don't think Mike Geronimo could walk you in there and get you no $1.5 million, right? It's certain people that came in the 90s. I don't think Prodigy could walk you in nowhere and get you no $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think this is something small. And I think Mase not getting the credit he deserves on a deal like this. For him to still be relevant, to have them connections, he has a guy sitting in the office of a major label that's able to sign off on $1.5 million for an artist that other labels said was too old. That dude should be forever grateful to Mase, to be honest with you. It's a lot of dudes would have laughed at Mase saying, man, you can't do nothing for me. But I think dude didn't have nothing to lose because it was getting really scary as far as money-wise for him. So he's like, I'm going to take this chance. So a lot of dudes laughing at the $5,000, not knowing he got this man $1.5 million, right? And gave him back a lot of stuff he didn't have to give him. So if we to believe Mase, salute to Mase. That's some G stuff because he damn sure, Puffy damn sure ain't doing that. He said he ain't had no money when he's rocking with Puff. Even when he was getting the gold and all this ice and all this stuff, he said he barely was getting that stuff. Puffy Diddy wasn't getting him nothing. A lot of stuff he got burnt on, he never saw the money for ever. So, end of the day, salute the Mase. I think Fivio Foreign got to come back and explain what's going on. But I don't know what to tell you. I think that Mase really did some G stuff because he took a dude out the hood, took his whole team, got him paid. And he's going to continue to get paid from this dude because whatever they got set up, he getting money from it. So Mase figured out a way to eat beyond what it looked like. But you let me know in the comments what you think. Is Mase telling the truth? Is it all garbage? I don't know. CLBMG.com. Go check it out. We're working on a lot of new content. The mobile app is coming. The Roku coming. The Fire Stick. We going to get dumb. It's going to be crazy. CLB going to be something else. I'm going to stick with us, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Subscribe to the channel. Share the page. Share the videos. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.